Have you started your Etsy shop and now you're like, what products do I sell? Where do I even start? Well, in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys a good starting point for finding the right products to sell in your Etsy shop. Now, lots of these videos talk about different niches and the types of things you should be putting on your products, but I want to talk about the products that are actually selling well rather than the items that are actually going onto the products. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right into that. I do have a really cool hack for using a research tool known as Everbee that we use for product research that is gonna help you all a ton whenever you're trying to get these products narrowed down to something that you enjoy selling and creating that also sells well and makes you money. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So there are thousands of different brands out there that you all can sell when it comes to t-shirts and sweatshirts. So we're gonna start there because I feel like that can be so overwhelming. And a lot of times when people are working in print on demand or e-commerce, they are wanting to start selling t-shirts and sweatshirts. But there are certain ones that are more likely to sell, and that's what we're gonna talk about right now. So the first one I wanna talk about are Comfort Colors t-shirts like these or these. These Comfort Color t-shirts are top selling items. I personally, if I'm shopping on Etsy or shopping online somewhere and it says this is a Comfort Colors t-shirt, I am more likely to buy that versus another brand of t-shirt, okay? This is the Comfort Colors 1717, and if you go into Printify and you are a print-on-demand seller that uses Printify, you can go into your catalog, go into t-shirts, and you can see that they have tons of t-shirts here. And this is really, I'm talking about Printify right now, but this really is great for anyone who is selling shirts online whenever you're doing research on which type of shirts are gonna sell the best. So this one right here is the one that we love the most. The cost is a little bit higher than Bella and Canvas, for example, but I'm telling you all, you're gonna get a little bit more volume in terms of selling shirts if you're selling this Comfort Color 1717. Now this isn't everybody's preference, but as a whole, this type of shirt sells really well. Now, if we're looking at sweatshirts, let's go into sweatshirts right here. This is the Gildan 18,000. This sweatshirt sells so well on Etsy, and we know this because we have done product research on these types of shirts, as well as the Comfort Colors to know that there is data to back this up. Now I'm gonna kind of show you all a way that you can hack the system to see what actually is selling versus not. I also love this sweatshirt specifically through Printify because they do offer embroidery on it. So embroidery is super hot right now. It's something that everyone is looking for and purchasing. So if you're wanting to get into selling embroidered items, you can also do that through Printify if you didn't know that. Now I want to show you a little hack that I use when searching for certain products. If you come over here to Etsy, we're going to search at the top of the Etsy homepage. I'm going to type in Gildan sweatshirt. Now you can see when I initially searched this, it's giving us lots of mock-ups. We've got some actual products here and there throughout, but we're getting lots of mock-up images, which is not necessarily what we're looking for. So I'll typically come up here to all filters, and then you can select physical items. That's gonna immediately get rid of a ton of those mock-up shops because we're trying to see which shops are selling physical products with this specific type of sweatshirt. And not only can you do that, but you can come down here and hit Etsy's picks, and this is going to narrow it down to the most popular items or the best selling items. Typically, I will try to look for the best seller tag on the items that I'm wanting to niche down to. But like I said, we're really just looking to see which sweatshirts are selling with that Gildan name on them, right? So we want to find the sweatshirts that are Gildan. Like this one right here has a bestseller, but it's Comfort Colors, right? So we don't necessarily want to see that. So if we wanted to narrow this down even more, we're going to use what is known as Everbee. Now I have the Everbee extension installed on my Chrome web browser. We go over this in detail, how to use it, how to install it in our Passive Earner Society course, where we teach you all how to create and sell products through Printify creating your own e-commerce shop connected to Etsy, okay? So I have my shop connected here, but I'm gonna go to product analytics. And then whenever you open this up, we're gonna go ahead and bump this monthly sales button. We're gonna click that arrow. So it's gonna put this in order of most monthly sales to least. And then what you can do is come in here and you can click on the first one if you want. And this is where you can start to narrow down what type of sweatshirt they're selling, right? So we know that these sweatshirts are selling really well. The monthly revenue on these is insane. I mean, our #1 listing is only 9 months old and it's already made $55,000 in revenue. Now, I don't know how much they're spending on ads and things like that, but obviously you know that this sweatshirt is going to sell. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. I really wanna just double check and see what type of sweatshirt they're selling, if it is the Gildan. And a lot of times that will be in the description. So you can just come down here. So oftentimes you can find the size chart inside the listing that will say like Gildan or Comfort Colors. But a lot of times they don't have that. So I can literally see that this says Gildan right here on the top of the sweatshirt. So I know that that is what's selling. Now this one, for example, does not mention that it's a Gildan sweatshirt in the title right here. But we did our own research and found that it is a Gildan sweatshirt, in fact, and people love it, obviously, because it has over $50,000 in revenue. So we're basically putting 2 and 2 together to decide, okay, Gildan does sell well. We do know that this is gonna be a good selling sweatshirt, and that's why we want to use it whenever we are selling our items on Etsy, okay? So let's go ahead and move on from sweatshirts and t-shirts and talk about another top selling product. Another item that sells like crazy are baby blankets or baby items. Anything personalized for a baby is gonna sell like crazy. So we actually bought one of these swaddles from Printify as a sample. This is just like a stretchy swaddle blanket. It's completely personalized, and they are able to personalize this through Etsy, and then they send it directly to Printify and it is sent directly to their mailbox, which is super nice because I don't have a machine to print all of these personalized blankets out, but Printify does, as well as other print-on-demand resources. They have the means to print items like this, and then it ships directly to the customer, so you're never actually physically touching the product, which is super helpful if you are super busy like me and you work full-time and you have children that are super young. So if this is something that you're like, oh, I really love baby items, oh my gosh, I would love to do that, you can totally sell these on Etsy. And I want to show you all some data to back up that personalized baby blankets are top sellers. Not only that, but baby swaddles in particular sell really, really well. So let's go ahead and hop over to Everbee and see what they have to say. So I'm just going to type in baby name swaddle. And automatically you can see we have green with the white text. All of these are pretty simple to design, right? So it's not super difficult. If you're not a designer, you really don't have to be to do items like this, right? But I will say you may want to do some research on different materials of swaddles that people prefer. So you can do things like, let's filter this out, and I'm gonna select personalizable. And let's do physical items, and we're gonna filter it through Etsy Picks and then show results. So this is gonna narrow things down really well for us. And then we can just go into one of these listings, and let's get the product analytics on this first, and then we'll go into a little bit more detail. So if we scroll down, or actually you can see right here, so you can see right here, this is made about $500 in revenue. It's getting a ton of views, a pretty good amount of sales. Total sales 114, and it's only been listed for 5 months. So that's really good. And I'm gonna actually go back to the page with all of these, and we're gonna select product analytics from here. And then I'm going to bump my monthly sales up. So it's got my highest monthly sales here. And that is not a blanket, but it looks like they've put personalized and baby in the title, so it's gonna pop up. but we want to look at the first swaddle that's listed. So this one right here, they're listing it for $25. It's got 713 monthly sales, 17,000 in revenue. I'm going to click on this listing and we're going to go view it on Etsy. I'm going to scroll down to the product description. And what I'm looking for here is the makeup of the blanket. So I really want to know, just as a mom, I feel like whenever I order things like this, even if it's for someone else, I want to see what it's made of. Is it cotton? Is it polyester? I don't know. I want to know. So this blanket right here is 100% polyester. Now the blanket that we ordered from Printify is also 100% polyester. And so whenever you look at these listings and you're like, oh, that's 100% polyester, let me go into my print on demand or my drop shipping provider and I want to find a kid's blanket. So let's go over here to baby accessories, or yes, baby accessories. And you can look in here and find a baby swaddle blanket that is 100% polyester right here. Jersey polyester even is gonna make it super soft. This is the exact one that we ordered. And this product is gonna be selling like crazy. If it's selling already, you've seen it on Etsy, you've got the proof, then we know that it's going to work, right? So baby swaddle blankets, a definite go-to. Now let's talk about another kind of blanket. Now this blanket right here, I have been seeing all over Etsy. These are beautiful woven blankets. They're pretty decorative. Honestly, these blankets give me like florist vibes. I feel like this is something that you could find at a florist to give to someone like who's grieving or something like that. But y'all, these are popping off. These are popping off on Etsy. I want to go take a look at these woven blankets on Etsy, look at the Everbee statistics, because I know I haven't actually looked at these. I looked at all the other ones, but the woven blankets I've just been seeing, so I know that they're popular in my brain, but I really want to get down to the nitty gritty and see what kind of sales these woven blankets are making. So let's just type in woven blanket. And as you can see, there's already tons of different ones, right? And these you can completely design on your own and send through a provider to be printed and sent directly to the customer as well. But I want to go to my filters, right? This is the trick. You go to your filters, filter everything out. We don't really want to look for anything personalized here, but we do want to make sure we're just looking at physical items and Etsy's picks. This is going to filter out to our best sellers. And then from here, we can come up to our product analytics, and this is going to give us a little bit more specific. I am going to bump this up. So we've got our highest monthly sales right here at the top. Now this is not the exact woven blanket that I'm talking about. This is a cable knit blanket. So let's go to the next one. We've got this super cute frog couple tapestry. And now as far as the title goes for these types of blankets, you're gonna wanna use Everbee's tags and things like that so that you know exactly how to list these items, because people may not necessarily be searching for woven blanket. They may be searching for tapestry. So you wanna include words that your customer is shopping for in the title of these types of products. But you can see here, this listing age is 14 months old. They have over 11,000 in monthly revenue, as well as almost 70 monthly sales. They sold almost 400 of this blanket. And I'm gonna open it up really big for y'all, because cottagecore is a total niche in itself. But this really just takes it home for me. Like, it's definitely something people are purchasing. I think this is so cute. It's got its two little frogs. It says "Until We Croak." It has their name. So this actually is a personalized option, but you can offer it as more of a general vibe, right? And as you can see, this blanket has that fringe detail around the end, and it has the woven texture. So let's go ahead. I want to look at a couple more of these blankets just to kind of see what people are buying here. We've got this really cute flora and fauna blanket. This is a bestseller, and as you can see, they've also put in a video to show the front and the back of the blanket. So this is really good for whenever you're trying to sell a product that maybe isn't necessarily familiar to the market or it hasn't been familiar. I feel like these blankets were a lot more popular in the 90s and now they're kind of making a comeback. So you've really got to make sure that the consumer knows exactly what they're buying, and these videos are super helpful for that, as well as close-up shots and a very detailed description about the item, okay? So these are all selling super well. I think this is something that you could get into. Typically niches are whatever's on the product, but sometimes your niche can be a product in itself, meaning this type of blanket could potentially be your niche. If you had some really good designs that people loved and attached onto, this could be something that you could turn into a niche for your entire shop and just sell woven blankets. The next product I want to talk about are digital products. Now, there are tons of digital products out there that you can sell, but right now, digital prints and posters are popping off. They are selling like crazy. People are selling them in bundles, so you can buy like 9, 10, 12 at a time, even more sometimes. But people are designing them, selling them individually, and then also selling them in bundles and making a really good profit. So let's go over to Etsy and see what is selling super well on digital prints and posters. Now, you can sell physical posters through Printify as well as other print providers, but I want to talk about just creating and selling the digital product of a poster to sell to a consumer. So they are actually shopping, purchasing your item, downloading it themselves, and then someone in their hometown or wherever they choose to have it printed is printing it for them. So you don't actually have to create the product, print it, package it, ship it out. I don't want to do any of that because that's just a lot of extra work when I could just simply be selling these digital products, making them, posting them on Etsy, and then they can buy it and do all of that part, right? So let's go into Etsy and see what is selling really well right now. Typically, whenever you get on Etsy, if you're wanting to search for a product, you're wanting to type in what you think that the customer would be typing in. So you could type in digital prints, but a lot of times they're going to be a little bit more specific, like maybe they would want Christian digital prints, or maybe they want fairy digital prints. I don't know. They're going to be searching lots of different words, and that's why your SEO is so important, and your titles and your tags on your images. But you want to be searching in that Etsy search bar the way that your consumer would be searching, right? So let's scroll down here. You can see all of these right here. We've got some nursery art. This is just clip art, and we don't necessarily want to see that. I really just want to see what types of fairy art is selling well as digital prints. So I'm going to go to all filters, and we're going to select digital downloads, and we're going to select Etsy's pick. Now we can get a narrowed down perspective on what is selling well. This one right here is something that I would never even think about typing in fairy prints, but that's really cute and different. And then you can see there are lots of other options here. But if we want to get even more specific, we've got to go to our Everbee product analytics, and we're going to see which one has the most monthly sales. So you can see at the top of our list, we have this silly goose wall art, and then right beneath it, we have 60 vintage fairy images in 3 different sizes. This is for junk journaling, which is a super trendy thing right now. Even more nature fairy junk journal printable kit. That's really cool. And then we've got some fairy birthday party prints. This is something that if you are interested in designing these, you can sell like crazy. The price of them is pretty low, but you sell them in volume a lot of times, so you sell a lot more often. So I'm not having a lot of luck here, and this may be something that you run into whenever you're doing your own research. So let's go back to Etsy. I'm gonna actually type in fairy wall art, and I'm just using fairy as an example, okay? You could even simply search, let's just search wall art. We're gonna be a little bit more generalized here, right? I'm gonna search wall art, and then you can see we have lots of options, but it ranges from $7 to $81. And a lot of that is simply because some of this is physical product. So we need to make sure that we are coming up here and filtering out any of the physical items. We only want digital downloads, and we only want best sellers. So we're gonna hit show results. And then from here, you're gonna start to see all of these popular nows, best sellers, Etsy picks, and then you can find one that catches your eye. and go from there, getting statistics from that. Or you can come over here to product analytics and we're just gonna see which one is selling the best. Make sure you click that monthly sales button, and then you can come over here and hover over the image to see what is selling well. Now, 70,000 images, whole shot bundle for $29, that's not a place you're gonna start at, right? That's something that you can do once you've got a huge shop, and it's gonna be totally up to you if you wanna do that with all of your prints. But this is a really good place to see what types of things you should be putting on your posters. So we've got people cheersing, we've got this don't rush me. Some of these are just really cute designs. Now, if you wanted to get more specific, we could go back to Etsy and type in Christian wall art and get more specific analytics on that. Let's filter it down, digital downloads, Etsy Picks. And then from here, I'm gonna go to product analytics. We're gonna bump up our monthly sales, and then you can see this design right here is one of the top sellers at $14. Okay, this is Jesus Feeds the 5,000. You can come back and keep looking at all these different prints. This is one that you could easily design in Canva. You don't want to copy it, but this is definitely something that you could do very similar and take this concept and adapt it into your own style. So this is a really good way whenever you're wanting to sell digital products to see, okay, this is selling. I know that they're selling it. How can I incorporate this into my own Etsy shop? A few other really hot products right now include phone cases or tumblers. And you can do the same product research that I just showed you all in this video to find which ones are selling the best. If you guys have any questions, I would seriously love to hear them. I love to see what you all are searching for or what you're still questioning. And that way we can come back and answer those questions for you. So drop a comment if you have sold any of these products, or if you're wanting to sell any of them, or if you just have any questions for us. I would love to hear them. I'm gonna go ahead and put a link to our Passive Earner Society down below so that if you're interested, you can sign up for our Passive Earner Society and become a member of a community of like-minded people who want to sell and be successful in their passive earning as well. Thank you all for watching this video. If you like this one, make sure to click right here and watch this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys.